check, yeah, about that. Make you laugh out loud, cause this is where it's at.
This the best podcast that you'll ever hear. It's nice and comforting just for your ears. We got gimmicks and skits with limitless wits, making other podcasters just quit. Yeah, what's up, everybody? It's the man they call Paco. I'm posted up in the cut like a bandage.
Yeah, what up? It's your boy Joe Audio right here representing for Yeah About That, the podcast.
And it's me and Gene, Dark Mark from Down Under. Let it be known.
Yeah, you know what? We've come together today to talk about what I consider a classic, very important hip-hop album from the 90s. I'm going to go ahead and let Jay or Gene, whichever one talks first, describe it.
You're talking about the album cover or the album in general?
Yeah, go ahead and tell them what the album is.
All right, so the album we're doing this week is going to be Puff Daddy and the Family, No Way Out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's focused. Yeah, cool.
Right. Next time we use an iPhone to get a better camera, but it's fine. So with that album cover, I remember back when this came out. Do you remember when it came out, Paco?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was like the album I actually purchased this album back in the day when it came out, and I was excited for it. It was like kind of like the announcement of the whole roster for Bad Boy, and I was excited to see it. You can see everyone on there. It's like a mafia style, like they're in the game. This is their game. They're in control. They're running it. So, man, it's a good cover. It drew my attention right away, especially because I knew who it was.
Yeah, it didn't strike me as mafioso because it more struck me as businessmen, and also when I think about Puff Daddy, I think entrepreneur, businessman. That's what I don't think mafioso gangster when I see that. And even back then, I didn't think it was like gangster. I thought it was more like business. That's just what I thought. My brain,
like a business gangster.
Yeah. You know what? That's something I didn't think about. You just short circuited my brain. Gene, what are your thoughts on this cover?
I think it is gangster there, Paco, and I think it's a throwback to 20s, 30s prohibition gangster style. If you look at some of the hats they're wearing and the style of suits, yeah, they're not contemporary. They're not of the 90s or whatever, or not even a 90s throwback to Italian-American mafioso. This is more prohibition style, which I think is cool for the whole Bad Boys gimmick as well. I think it's a nice combination there. It's a nice, Puff Daddy, he knows his fashion, doesn't he? He knows how to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that. There's so many different, ways to look at it, and interpret it.
I just did not think gangster. That's the last thing I think about when I think Puff Daddy. But
that's true.
Yeah, dude. Because when you think about gangster, it's like Ice Cube and Mac 10 and these guys. But Puff Daddy did not make the connection, not even a little bit for me. That's just that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm talking wrong.
Okay.
You know what? Who cares?
All right. So I want to shout outs to Greg Smith Jr., who's actually watching on YouTube right now. So,
yo, what up, Greg? Why don't you join us, man?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
jump in.
We haven't officially gotten started in the review. So, Greg, if you're down, hit us up on what is it, Facebook or something?
Greg said, "Let's get guys." No, man, I'm cool with
Whoa, buddy,
guys.
You see the comment?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Fine.
Shout out to Greg, man.
Wrong kind of stream, guys. Wrong kind of stream.
Maybe just referring to the Puff Daddy album. Okay.
Oh, man.
So let's go ahead and just get into it. Let's get into it, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and start out with Paco's 4-part secret recipe.
I'm gonna bust out with Paco's 4-part secret recipe for creating a classic album review.
Thank you. Criteria number one is beats. So on a scale of 1 to 5, we will rate these beats. Let's see who wants to go first. We should have a coin flip or something. I mean, I don't got any coins, but
Gene, why don't you go ahead and take this one?
You sure?
Yeah, no, we want the brutal honesty. That's what we want. We want the people to know we're authentic.
Okay, and I will be authentic. And thank you for the surprise, call out for the review of this particular album, because it's underrated. It's criminally unknown in terms of Puff Daddy. People have an idea of Puff Daddy and the music videos, etc., whatever. This guy can produce, and this album showcases that beautifully. I think this is his high point of production of his career, this album. And it's a little long, though, that's all. It's just a little long, so could be if it was a bit shorter, but more sharper and concise with it all, I would definitely give it a 5. Yeah, if not leaning towards a 6. So I'm going to give it a 4, though, but a very, very strong 4. I know a 4. It is what it is. I've got to stick with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a it's a 4 there, guys. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
4 on the beats from Gene.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Paco, would you like to entertain us with your?
No, I want you to go.
You
next.
want me to go
Yes,
next?
please, so I
Okay.
can copy your idea.
Okay, great. All right. So I was listening to this. We were listening to this today when we were driving around. We went to go get something called Bahama Bucks. It's Hawaiian shaved ice. And we're listening to this album all the way up there, all the way back, about 30, 40-minute drive, both directions. And, listening to it, like there was a lot of tracks that just brought back memories, like lines, like specific lines from this that I remember back in the day, like kind of just replayed in my mind. And it was a trip down memory lane, but for some reason, it some of the beats didn't hold up as strong as I initially thought they were. Like, I mean, the beats were either really good, like the radio songs, like memorable, like it just gets in your mind, or there's some of the tracks that are almost forgettable, and the beats weren't necessarily the greatest on those either. So I'm going to give this a 3. 3. It is a little bit lower. I'm kind of surprised that I said 3, but I think, in honesty, a lot of it didn't carry over. There's a lot of tracks that I felt like I wanted to almost skip because of the beats themselves. They weren't like, I don't know, like some of those 80s remixes and like those like old school songs that he remixed in here weren't as, I guess, weren't as good as I remember them. So I'm gonna give it a 3. You can call that hate, but I think it's a 3. Paco.
Well, Jay, I'd like to start off by giving this a 5 right off top.
Okay.
Yeah, straight up and down, these beats, they're better than I remember. You know what I'm saying? And the David Bowie samples, classic.
So that would give
Classic.
If they were all like that, I would say 5. But they weren't.
I want to say that also, the Don't Stop the Music sample, it's great, on point, sounds almost like the original, but more whack.
Yeah, when you listen to it,
I liked it though. I still like it, and I also like All About the Benjamins. That's a classic beat. It's a 5 across the board, man. Even that one song after Been Around the World, I forgot the name of the track. Oh, what's it called? The last, like, What You Gonna Do or something like that.
Okay, so what we're gonna do,
because I would literally, since this album came out, I would listen to it from front to end, and I wouldn't really skip tracks or anything, and I wouldn't really look at the names of the tracks. That's why sometimes I have a hard time remembering the names of the tracks. But yeah, that beat is sick. That little, I don't know that, but I'm giving this a 5.
Okay,
it's better than I remember. It holds up for me.
What I'm gonna do, because I have not made graphics for this yet. We're supposed to make graphics, but that was a 5, so we're gonna use graphics we did in the previous album review. So please do not mind the West Side Connection.
What are you doing, man?
Information. Just concentrate on the 5 in the middle.
It's the middle there.
I'll give this a 5. Okay.
You know what? The perfect album would have Puff Daddy's head right above those 3 guys. Yeah. And then that would have been just the World Connection album or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Rushmore. Your Rushmore.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, that's fair enough. We all have different opinions, obviously, and
but yeah, no, these beats do hold up for me. I do enjoy them.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know why. It's weird. It didn't hold up for me. But we'll move on to criteria number 2, which is going to be lyrics.
Oh, the lyrics.
Now let's do this one in reverse. so Paco, we'll have you go first.
Yeah,
I'll go second, and then
all right.
Gene go Third.
I'm gonna give this a 5. Puff Daddy cannot miss with his flow, his arrogance. You know, this is the king of arrogance for me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just got the flow. People don't realize how much flow Puff Daddy has. Now,
Back in the day.
I'm almost certain that he had ghostwriters.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't take away from his flow and his delivery. Does not. You know what I'm saying? It's all about showmanship.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
for me, and that's a 5.
Yeah.
You know, Mace comes with it, Jay-Z, Biggie, Lil Kim, all these fools, Black Rob, they all come with it too, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So lyrics across the board,
A 5.
yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna agree with Paco on this one. A 5. Because as I mentioned on the previous, let me write that down before I forget. I'm gonna give it a 5 because there were so many memorable lines in this album. Like, I mean, when you start listening to it, you just want to start singing along. I mean, excuse me, I don't sing rap. Rap along. I hate when people say, "Yeah, you sing that song," blah blah, and they rap. Anyway, yeah, you want to rap along with this, just because it strikes so many memories in your mind lyrically. And what they're talking about, man, I mean, Puff Daddy sounded so gangster.
On the macaroni with the cheese.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
That right there.
That's gold.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I mean, everyone,
1 million.
no one came whack on this at all. So it's a straight 5 for me on lyrics, man. All right, Gene.
Good. No, I feel you. Yeah.
Don't disappoint.
Actually, I do feel you on there. You actually swayed me a little. I was going to come in with a median 3. But you've placed it correctly. How was back in the day. He was the originator of this kind of smooth style, which a lot of these youngins emulate to this day. Move over Kanye. Let's look at Puff Daddy in that respect. Yeah. So you've definitely swayed my opinion there. So I'm going to move it up to a 4. The reason it's not a 5, though, and this ties into the production a little bit, is Puff Daddy is arrogant. That's fine. I like my arrogance. I like my Griselda, Puff Daddy, etc. But when it gets sexy, I think I'm sexy, and I'm going to throw in some sexy lyrics and some sexy production of a sex scene at the end. I'm skipping that shit. So that's why it has to be a 4. It can't be a 5. Yeah, fair's fair.
It does give me weird feelings too, Gene.
Yeah, I want to say, I feel like Gene,
feelings I don't want to deal with.
Gene,
it's not good. Not good.
Not when I'm looking at Puff Daddy. I'm just kidding.
I feel like Gene was giving this a 3 until you said that macaroni with the cheese.
Yeah.
And that weighed him to a 4.
Little bit.
Man. All right. So let's get this moving. Let's get it on to criteria number 3.
Jay, why don't you go ahead and start this one off?
Oh, this is weird for me. So 3 is the hooks. Man. Sitting there, this is a hard one because it's like a thin line between one number to the next. And I want to give this I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4 on the hooks. Man, I could think of a step up, step down from this, but I'm gonna stay with the 4 only because of the radio singles that were on this album, like were really intense in the hooks, like All About the Benjamins, Been Around the World. You know, like granted, like some of these hooks were kind of jacked from the original songs that he remade. That's why they're catchy, but they worked really well. Not all the tracks are. I mean, there's skits. Skits don't have hooks.
Yeah.
So that kind of downgrades it a bit. And some of the songs are kind of trackable, but the hooks were pretty on point. So I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the odd man out here.
I mean, go ahead, man. You got your opinion. That's what we're here for.
Okay,
I mean, your opinion is not wrong. Okay,
No.
because it's yours.
No.
Oh, definitely. I stand by my 4. I just feel like I'm getting looked at like.
I mean, some people.
Yeah, the weekend is tight.
I'm just saying. That's
I know
people's
some people
opinion.
don't. Some people don't like the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
A lot of people don't,
No,
but still.
only some. Okay, so there's a small.
Yeah.
percentage. Okay, we're done fighting. Okay, you want? Yeah, we'll have Paco go. Paco.
Oh, me?
Gene's pointing
Yeah.
to you.
Okay, I'm gonna give these a 5, man. These are legendary hooks. These actually started like, okay, Puff Daddy's not the most lyrical guy. That's why he made such banger hooks. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that one song, "I Love You, Baby," and he goes, "No, you don't." Dude, that's sick. I don't know, man. You're missing it, Jay.
Yeah, what did you say? No, you don't, because it's a female saying it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Um,
No, but dude, that hook is stuck in my head, and
Yeah.
it's mostly Black Rob rapping on that one. That one's sick, dude.
yeah. Oh, okay.
But the hook, yeah, that hook gets me every time. I'm like, yo, this is sick. You know, been around the world, and you know that
Been playing,
Biggie, yeah.
yeah.
Dude, these hooks are legend. Okay, I mean,
But not all of them.
it doesn't matter. The ones that are bangers compensate for the ones that lack.
Okay. See, that's
It for me. I'm giving this a straight 5.
5. All right. Gene, would you care to settle the argument for us?
When I first came to review these albums and was first presented with Paco's secret recipe, the hooks was the ingredient that I always had the most trouble with.
Yeah.
But over time, and with albums like West Side Connection, Bow Down, and Puff Daddy and the Family, No Way Out, I understand the hook now.
Yeah.
I understand the appeal and how it should be used in this. And then in this album, it is used perfectly. A 5, otherwise echoing everything Paco said.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I mean, I said I'm cool. Excuse me.
Yeah. No, Jay. Come on.
All right. So criteria number 4.
Yeah.
Get into that one right here. Criteria number 4.
Okay, I'll
is
take this one
features.
first.
You want to go first?
Yeah, features is a 5. All-star cast. Nobody is caught slacking, man. I love Lil' Kim on this album too. She comes with it, man. You know what I'm saying? She really does shine, and she brings a different type of style that I wasn't used to.
Yo, so what? I'm sorry. What did you say again?
Give it a 5.
Because I just got a text message from somebody
What?
that was supposed to be
What?
in this.
What? Who?
He says if he wants us to have him join still.
He'll come on for it's whack, dog.
Okay.
Give it like few minutes,
Okay,
because
cool.
me, you know what I'm saying? Gene is like 5 guests in one.
Yeah. Please, that's too much.
Oh, but yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Thanks, Jay. Whatever number I gave it. I'm not
gave
even
it 5.
5
Yeah,
features,
all-star cast.
everyone killed it.
Yeah, Lil' Kim especially signed for me.
Yeah.
You know, that's where you fall in love with Lil' Kim when you're younger.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
No, let's have Gene go second. I'll go
Okay,
last.
all right.
No. You go second, please. There, I'm just still refreshing with the features, if I may.
Please,
Cool.
Jay.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and flip this one?
I will do this. So I'm gonna give it a 5 too, man. Because this, I mean, you could tell that this is a label. Like everyone on the label is coming with the same mentality. Like no one is like the weak, like short straw, whatever, weakest link. No one comes whack or is in a different page. No one really does this in a way that kind of derails the album.
Yeah.
All the features on there are on point. I mean, who knows? I mean, half them probably wrote the verses for Puff Daddy on this album. Jay-Z obviously is not on the label, but he still has that same mentality, like Biggie and all them. Like they're all like top notch. So even having Biggie on the same album with Puff Daddy, because really it's the label album. It's not really just Puff Daddy's.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Big's passing.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and right before the album released, that's probably why this is like the only good Puff Daddy album.
I didn't know he passed away.
Okay.
Sorry. This was
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
I tried. Okay. But yeah, so because everyone's on the same page, man, I had to give it a 5 too.
Yeah.
There was nothing out of place on this, except for skits and some, but they still kind of fit on there. So 5.
Yeah. Gene, please give us your thoughts. Every time I look to the side, I see that comment, "Let's get guys."
Okay.
And I keep cracking up.
Is that better? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And the guys they got for the features all came to the game. Absolutely.
Yes.
It is a 5 out of 5. I was trying to be, the critic here, but no, you're right. Everyone brought their A game. Even if I'm not fans of, say, Little Kim, I wouldn't listen to a Little Kim album. She brought it. Yeah. And as you say, their audio did not derail anything. No one did. Yeah. It is a 5. And the locks, he brought in the locks. I was really pleased with that, having that classic East Coast representation there with those guys. because he is a bridging artist between the East and the West. Not to get into that whole kind of, rabbit hole, but with the style of this album as well, because it has that gloss, that sheen, as well as that gangster, ethos and lifestyle being represented, etc. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, Puff Daddy is kind of that bridging artist as well. And the features do represent that as well, because there's Biggie. I mean, come on now. It's definitely a 5. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Wow.
100.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'll go ahead and accept that answer as a 5 because I agree with it, and it's
It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying, sometimes when you have arguments and different opinions, you may not accept their response or their whatnot. So I accept it.
It's all good, dog.
So dude, let's go ahead and get that tallied up. But before we get it tallied up, let's go ahead and go over our favorite songs, favorite verses from the album, and Paco, I'll let you go first.
Just play the first verse of "Been Around the World." Mace really kills it, sets it off right. He sets the arrogant tone at the beginning prior to his spitting of the verse. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with that one.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So that's great. You know what, Gene? Please let us know what your favorite verse on this album is, or at least a verse that you want to show the people.
My favorite verse, I knew it straight away. It's the verse that attracted me to the album in the first place. It is Biggie's first verse off Victory. Yeah, track 2.
Okay, great.
All right.
It's that hard as nails shit right there.
Yeah, man. All right. So, I was gonna pick All About the Benjamins, but Paco had
nice.
Actually, hold on. Paco didn't pick that one. He picked Been Around the World.
What?
I picked. Okay, I'm trying to multitask here and think about a few different things at the same time.
Yeah.
So
you don't gotta lie while you're doing it.
I am picking.
What I'm saying?
I tried to buy myself time so I could think while I was talking. But I'm gonna pick All About the Benjamins, Biggie's verse at the end, just because of everyone comes with it on it. It's like an all-star, one-upping each other, trying to get the best verse on there. They're a little bit shorter verses, but when Biggie comes on there, he just crushes the whole song, and then it just goes to a different level. So All About the Benjamins, Biggie's verse.
Wow, that was a great verse. I love how they changed up just for Biggie, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's sick. That beat is sick, a change up right there.
Yeah, it's probably because he died.
How did you not know?
All right.
I'm really happy you chose that.
Yeah.
And people should also check out when our David Grohl came in to do a remix with Puff Daddy of that song. There's a music video out there on YouTube. That's dope as well.
Yeah. No, dude. I remember when this was a pretty big album, and then actually it was after that when Puff Daddy did that Godzilla soundtrack or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was a Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah. Come with me again. The remix.
Kashmir, that Led Zeppelin bollocks.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Puff Daddy,
I just want to say, Biggie, please come back because Puff Daddy needs you to make a good album.
Yeah, no. When Biggie was alive, Bad Boy was running the game. I mean, they were, East Coast moguls. They were the biggest thing going on out there.
This album was huge. Okay, they would play these videos nonstop on BET, MTV, on the radio all day. I'm not sure how it was where you were at this time, but this was Gene. This was huge over here.
Constantly played on whatever in rotation all of the time. Saturation. Yeah.
But like you said, man, it only took a few years for people to forget. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And now all you hear is constant shade being thrown on Puff Daddy, or Diddy as he goes by now. And people just being disrespectful to the man. But he did start a legacy.
Yes, yeah. So, all right. So let's go over the scores, the totals that we got. So I think going forward, what we're gonna do is we have tiers. So if you scored within this range, this is what it is. So if anyone scores from a 1 to 4, that's considered a whack album. So
Okay.
none of us fall in that category. 5 to 8 is not a good album. So it's not whack, but it's not good. 9 to 12 is going to be a good album. Just okay, average. 13 to 16 is going to be a great album. 17 to 20 is going to be classic.
This is Joe Audio secret recipe, by the way. You can
Yeah,
tell how
whack it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Paco, since you started out this recommendation, you gave it a 20 out of 20. So this is a classic album.
Yeah, perfect album.
You feel like is accurately represented?
Yes, that's accurate. And I make sure you guys go out and buy this one. All you kids that are younger that don't remember this album when it came out, go out and listen to it, and you won't be disappointed, dog. You know what I'm saying? That Bato Puff Daddy spits.
Yeah. Make sure you listen to Puff Daddy, not P. Diddy, not Diddy, Sean Combs, or whatever he goes by.
Yeah.
So,
but when you type in Puff Daddy, it comes up Diddy, the artist.
Yeah,
you know?
see, that's what he's currently going by.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Gene.
Gene gave this an 18 out of 20, which is also considered still a classic in the classic range. You think that pretty much sums up how you feel about it?
It was a little more towards the 16 to 17 end when I came in after this morning's re-listen. But talking to your guys, your enthusiasm as well, and the knowledge you were able to, frame it within as well, you bumped it up, and I'm perfectly happy with that. The youngins you do need to go check this out if you're into your Kanye, if you're into who else could you compare this with? Ty Dolla $ign or whatever the fuck, go back and check this out first, because it could be a gateway album to the East Coast as well, to that older school gangster grimy style as well, 90s stuff. This is a nice way to, like a kind of marijuana before you get to the heroin. You can edit that out if you want, but it's like.
All right. Yeah, no, definitely. I do feel that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I really feel like your whole review is based off that macaroni.
Oh wow!
That I feel that's why it goes better than what you thought it was initially. But yeah, no, we'll move forward and not really address that.
Reduced to a catchphrase. What's happening?
That's how that could be the make it or break it for an album. Sometimes,
Well,
like a hook, like the whole album could be whack. The whole verse could be whack, but that hook, if it grabs you and doesn't let go and it's stuck in your mind, that will make you rate it higher than what it really should be.
Yeah, you're right there, actually, Joe, because I've talked about presence with MCs before, how that makes a track come to life, with Conway Machine before. Puff Daddy with the macaroni and cheese made everything come to life in that moment. So you have a point, good sir. You have a point. Yeah.
So I scored this a 17 out of 20, which is going to be the lowest out of the three.
Speaking of cheesy, go ahead.
The macaroni with the cheese.
Go ahead, man.
I scored it at 17 out of 20. Still falls within that classic range, and I do still stand by that. I believe it is a classic album. Everyone needs to pick this up. If you're curious, if you're not too sure, and if you have a streaming subscription to Apple Music, Google Plays no more, but YouTube Music, wherever you listen to streaming music, Spotify, Pandora, whatever. I don't know what people listen to nowadays. Check out the album. If you like it, buy it. Just buy it. I mean, honestly, that way you have it in your rotation. You can play whenever you want. Buy the album. I think we bought this album several times on CD.
I just want to say this: you don't have to buy this out. You can bootleg it for all I care. No, listen. You know how much money Puff Daddy made off of that song? You know how many times it gets played at funerals? Every single funeral I've been to since that song's release has been played at it. So he's getting tons of dough.
Paco, if I may ask, because of that album, sorry, Joe, with that album, I'm Still Missing You, whatever it is, the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is it still a 20 because of that song? Because that song was overplayed and it was a cash in on someone's death.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? It felt real to me, though. It did have real.
I felt that.
Yeah, I was crying.
I felt that he was happy that Biggie died.
Hey, what's up, Ashley? The one with Busta and Biggie is whack. Thank you for your input. Oh, whatever. I can't see that far.
I'm just being controversial. My bad.
Yeah, no, dude. that "I'll Be Missing You" song, like it's like he plotted that. You know, he planned it out. You know, but we'll save that for our conspiracy podcast.
You know what?
Yes.
I mean, these are okay. If you want to go that far, I'll just say that these are characters. So who knows if Biggie's really dead? I mean, they just took his character off the world stage.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna.
Okay.
That, you know?
Okay. Fair enough.
Go in there, man.
yeah. Same with Tupac.
Touche.
Yeah, Tupac. I can't stand Tupac anymore.
Oh, we're still recording.
No, for real, man. Tupac, if you're listening. No. Okay, yeah.
Okay. You know,
Hey, Puff Daddy, hit us up, man. Get on the podcast. I know you're watching.
we have one viewer right now live. I think that's Puff Daddy watching. So, yeah, man.
Drink champs, watch out.
Yes, sir. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, 5, 10, whatever, however long it takes us to do what we got to do.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back with
Indeed.
what's whack and our recommendations.
Anybody that's watching want to join us, ask Jay to send you the link.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.